Lewicki of channelinginc.com. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you'd like to know more about me and what I do for a living, please check out my website, channelinginc.com. It's right there. You can see it right now. And I would love for you to go ahead and view it and look at my website, see all the offerings that I have on a monthly basis. I do have a lot of different offerings that you'll see on a regular basis. It's just so many amazing things that I do, that I help people. I teach people how to channel. I teach people how to connect with their soul, their higher self, get messages from their spirit guides, sprites, fairies, dragons, angels, how to do readings, psychic readings, how to do mediumship, and on and on and on. And today's topic I'm going to be talking about is astral traveling, out of body experience, dream walking, and dream interpretation, and also um, daydreaming, which is all kind of related to each other, but sort of different, but related. Let's start off with astral traveling. What is astral traveling? Astral traveling is basically, and you can try this, please do try it out, where you can either lay on a bed or a couch or something like that, lay on the floor. And what you do is you allow your etheric self, your astral self, to vibrate at such a high level. You lay there for like, usually it takes good 5 to 10 minutes before you get into this state where you can just really relax, and then allow your astral body, your astral self, to vibrate and separate from your body. And then you can go all sorts of things. You can go traveling everywhere. You can travel around the neighborhood. You can like fly around and do all sorts of cool things. And you don't have to be afraid about this. Like if you ever want to come back to your body, you have a silver cord that's attached to you and your, wherever you go. So at any time, if you ever want to come back to your body, just think of your body and you'll snap right back into your body. It's really neat, really cool. And um, what out of body experience is, it's pretty much the same thing as astral traveling. It's just a different name for it. If you ever hear somebody say, "Oh, out of body, I had an out of body experience," it's basically the same thing as astral traveling. If you ever hear someone say, "I astral traveled," it's the same thing as out of body experience. What daydreaming is a little bit different but similar. It's basically, remember like when you were in grade school, at least I don't know how it was for you, but it was for me like this. It was like, when you're sitting there and the teacher's talking and you just like wander off in your mind and you just, you're venturing out other places. That's daydreaming. And that's a lot of times, like in our society, we're like, "Oh, that's wrong, that's bad," and and our teachers would give us heck and be like, "Get back here, come back here, what are you doing, pay attention." But really, it's actually really healthy for us to daydream in a good way. And that's oftentimes what can happen, is we can actually leave our body and we could be astral traveling during the class or whatever. And you know if the teachers were to allow us to, it would actually be a lot more healthy for them to allow us to astral travel or daydream than would be to be like, "Okay, pay attention, can you paying attention?" And then bring us back to our body. Dream walking is actually the same thing as astral traveling, but just while you're in dream mode. And it's basically what you're doing. You're dream walking, you're astral traveling while you're dreaming. And so listen here, this is really cool. I want you to, if you're listening to this and you want to write these down, there's a few tips here I'm going to give you. So one tip that I suggest that you do is you have a notebook by your nightstand. And the reason why is because when you have dreams, you want to write down the dreams. You don't have to, like when I first started doing this, I would write big, huge, long paragraphs, and it would just become so monotonous. It was really hard for me to be able to do this on a regular basis. Now what I do is I just write down bullet points and I try to capture the big points of what my dream was about. But then what happens is, as you become good at it, is you can actually start to purposely involve yourself in like what's called lucid dreaming. So what lucid dreaming is where you're basically aware of what you're dreaming, rather than the dream just being like you're just a participant in the dream. Rather, you can be an influencer in the dream. And that's what lucid dreaming is where you're actually get in the dream. You can manipulate the dream. Like, have you ever had, you don't want it to go this way and you're like, "Stop," and you change the dream on purpose? That's lucid dreaming. That's what you can do. But by writing down your dreams on a regular basis, I find like usually it takes about 2 to 3 months. If you do this regularly every single day, then you could become really good at lucid dreaming, really good at manipulating and maneuvering through your dreams rather than just letting the dreams happen to you. You can actually take charge of your dreams. And the reason why this is important, because this leads me to my next step, is that sometimes in your dreams, you will notice that there is a person in your spirit in your dreams, and oftentimes that could be a spirit guide. Rather than you just kind of passing by and noticing a spirit guide and then continuing on, if you're lucid dreaming means you're doing it on purpose, then you can actually stop and talk to that spirit guide and have a full-blown conversation with them. And then when you wake up, write down that dream, write down that conversation. Um, which leads me to the next topic is dream interpretation. I want to make this very clear, is that not all dreams have meanings. Sometimes the dreams that you have, you might just be, it's your psyche trying to process what's going on in your life and subconscious things and stuff like that. So not all dreams have meaning. With channeling, what you can do is work with channeling to check with your spirit guides when you wake up. Upon waking up, of course, write it down, write down some bullet points, or write down everything. And then what you do is you check with your spirit guides to see if the dream you just had is actually you astral traveling or dream walking, whether it was an actual just a dream which has no real meaning to it, or if the dream does have meaning, then what's the meaning behind it? Why did I have this dream? And just to be clear, is that sometimes, let's say for example, you might have a dream of somebody you know in your life right now currently, and you think, oh, you wake up and you're like, oh, that dream has to do with that person. Let's say you got angry at that person, or something happened with that person in that dream, and you think it has to do with that person. It might have to do with that person. Sometimes, though, it's nothing to do with that person. Sometimes that person is just a representation that your psyche has put into that dream so that you can actually maneuver or work through. Or it could have to do with somebody maybe from your, I don't know, somebody 20 years ago, a bully, someone that bullied you, and that's what you're working through, but it has nothing to do with the person that was in that dream. It has to do with actually something else. And that's dream interpretation. That's where you can use channeling to interpret your dreams or interpret dreams of others. And of course, then there's sometimes when dreams have no meaning at all. It's just your psyche working through processing stuff in your life, and there's no meaning in all that. But you can check with your spirit guides to see any of those scenarios. I hope this helps. My name is Ken Lewicki. I teach channeling for a living. I empower people how to do this on their own. So when I'm not around, they can do it on their own. I have whole entire certification workshops, programs, trainings that will blow your mind. It's crazy cool. If you go to my website, channelinginc.com, you can see all my events that I have on a regular monthly basis. And have a wonderful day, everyone. Hope to see you soon. Talk to you later.